Hi everyone, it's Bridget. I have a design team project for Craft Supplies for You, and I did a tag here. And I'll start with what I did for the tag. I cut the tag out of craft paper, and then I cut some of this denim. I glued it over the tag, and I cut around it. And this is that Make Market denim that you find at Michael's. And then what I did was I took my sewing machine and I went twice around the tag, and then I used some of this tacky glue to stiffen some of these sides that I wanted like pushed over a little bit. And I used, on this whole thing, I used the Tim Holtz Distress Ink Faded Jeans, kind of appropriate for that. And then here, let's start with the top. This is jute twine. And then here what I did is I couldn't find, I had the Tim Holtz hole punch, you know, the little, what do you call those things that, oh, you know, that when you punch a hole and it makes it, I forgot what they're called. But anyways, it'll come to me after the video. It always does. So I didn't have any. So what I did was I took this bag that I had and I punched a hole with this little 5/8 hole punch. And then I took my other hole punch, you know, the small one, this type, and I punched a hole in the middle, and then I just used some tacky glue and I glued it there. I think it's still kind of a little wet, but I just glued it on there so it would have it's right at the tip of my tongue, enforcer, or whatever. Okay, I'm sure you guys all know what it is. I'm just brain dead. So anyway, so I used some of Julie's trim here, and I cut the 3 pieces on this side to put here, and I used the Fabri-Tac to put that down. And then another thing I use from Julie's shop is these latex flowers. I love these flowers, and I've ordered them a few times from her. I just like the realistic look of them, and if you see, they are just beautiful, aren't they? They are gorgeous flowers, and they're so easy to work with and bendable, and they stay in place just where you want them. I don't know, I just love them. So I used those and the leaves that went with it there. And then I used my Spellbinders dies to cut different shapes here. And I also used some craft paper, and I used, this has lines on it, but I used the other side. And I used this paper. It's just a scrapbooking paper you buy singly at like Joann's or whatever. And then for the top piece, I used the paper bag again, but I didn't want this writing. I thought it was too big. So what I did was I flipped it over and I used my script stamp to stamp on here with a little stays-on ink. And I got that look, and then I distressed it, and I kind of bent a little bit of the paper just to make it look a little more distressed. And then here was a trick. This was fun to do. I took wire and I cut a long piece of it, and then I used my tacky glue and I mixed it with just a tiny bit of water, and I cut strips of this tissue paper. And I just wrapped the tissue paper around the wire, and then once it was dry, I formed it into heart shapes. Like I formed the first heart, and then I kept wrapping around 3 times to form like 3 hearts on top of each other. And there's still wire showing, but I like that effect. And then what I had left over, I kind of curled into little curls right there, right there. And then here is, I have this spool that has these words on it of ribbon. So I put Cherished Memories there. And this is another trim from Julie's shop. This is really, really, really gorgeous. I love that. So there's that, and I don't know if I showed you these. This is another trim from Julie's shop, and I cut 3 pieces off of this. Isn't that gorgeous? I cut 3 ovals, and I put 2 there and 1 there. So yeah, I think that does it for my... And I'll put still pictures after here, but I just love the way it came out. It's so pretty. But anyways, thanks everybody for watching.